Welcome to For Science Salah Lotfy channel, where science meets real-world solutions. Today, I'm shining a light on an environmental study that's making waves. This research is led by Dr. Mohamed Gaballah, a postdoctoral researcher at Central Michigan University and the National Institute of Oceanography and Fisheries in Egypt, in partnership with Dr. Roderick Lammers, assistant professor at the same university. Their mission? Tackling a pressing global challenge. How can we cut down on agricultural nutrient pollution using constructed wetlands? Let's break it down. The team zeroed in on free water surface constructed wetlands, FWS CWs for short. Imagine shallow, plant-filled ponds designed to filter out pollution before it reaches our rivers and lakes. They're eco-friendly, affordable, and surprisingly effective at cleaning up water. Here's what they did. The researchers analyzed 62 wetlands scattered across the U.S. They used boosted regression tree models, a powerful machine learning tool, to figure out which design and environmental factors matter most for removing total nitrogen and total phosphorus from agricultural runoff. Now let me walk you through the main findings because they're pretty eye-opening. First, the concentration of pollution coming in, the inflow concentration, was by far the biggest player. It explained more than half, 52% of the variation in how well these wetlands clean the water. Second, the surrounding land matters. Wetlands bordered by forests did a much better job at removing nitrogen, but if they were surrounded by urban developments, the performance, especially for phosphorus removal, dropped off sharply. Third, the researchers looked at how long water stays in the wetland, the hydraulic retention time. They found that keeping water in for more than 10 days didn't provide much extra benefit, so bigger isn't always better here. Fourth, constructed wetlands don't work perfectly forever. Their performance dropped in the first 4 to 6 years, but then leveled out and stabilized after about a decade. Lastly, temperature played a role, particularly for phosphorus. When temperatures hit between 18 and 27 degrees Celsius, phosphorus removal efficiency dropped noticeably. So why should you care about all this? Well, constructed wetlands are a sustainable, low-cost, and energy-efficient solution for cleaner water, especially in rural and developing areas where agricultural runoff is a big problem. By pinpointing the most important design parameters, like how much pollution comes in, how long water stays, and what kind of land surrounds the wetland, this study shows us how to build smarter wetlands that work better for longer and save money too. Cleaner rivers, smarter agriculture, healthier ecosystems, all this thanks to clever nature-based solutions like constructed wetlands, and the scientists figuring out how to make them even better. Big thanks to Dr. Mohamed Gaballah and Dr. Roderick Lammers for their vital research, recently published in the Journal of Water Process Engineering under the title, Assessing the Factors Influencing Constructed Wetland Performance for Mitigating Agricultural Nutrient Runoff in the U.S. If you found this story interesting, drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to For Science Salah Lotfy channel for more stories where science meets solutions. Thanks for watching, and stay curious. Welcome to For Science Salah Lotfy channel, your gateway to the world of groundbreaking research. Today, I'm spotlighting a study that dives into one of the most urgent issues facing global agriculture and water systems. How can we reduce nutrient pollution from agricultural runoff using natural, cost-effective methods? The title of the research is Assessing the Factors Influencing Constructed Wetland Performance for Mitigating Agricultural Nutrient Runoff in the U.S. This was published in the peer-reviewed Journal of Water Process Engineering, Volume 71, Article 107293, in the year 2025. The first author is Dr. Mohamed Gaballah, a postdoctoral researcher at the School of Engineering and Technology, Central Michigan University, in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, USA. He's also affiliated with the National Institute of Oceanography and Fisheries, based in Cairo, Egypt. The co-author is Dr. Roderick Lammers, assistant professor at the School of Engineering and Technology, Central Michigan University, and a researcher at the Institute for Great Lakes Research, also in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Together, these two scientists, working across the United States and Egypt, set out to evaluate the performance of constructed wetlands as a tool to treat polluted agricultural runoff. So, what are constructed wetlands? They're artificial ecosystems designed to mimic the natural cleansing power of wetlands. This study zoomed in on how effectively these systems can remove nitrogen and phosphorus, two major pollutants that degrade water quality and trigger harmful algal blooms. By analyzing data from across the United States, the researchers identified key factors that drive wetland performance. These factors include the concentration of nutrients coming in, the surrounding land use, water depth, and especially how long the water stays in the wetland, known as retention time. Their findings are significant. This work adds to the growing field of nature-based solutions for water treatment and provides new guidelines for improving how constructed wetlands are designed and managed worldwide. Congratulations to Dr. Mohamed Gaballah and Dr. Roderick Lammers for this valuable contribution to environmental science and engineering. If you'd like to dive deeper, you can find the full paper in the Journal of Water Process Engineering, 2025, article number 107293. For any questions or collaboration opportunities, the corresponding author is Dr. Gaballah, and he can be reached at awad1m@cmech.edu. Stay tuned for more insightful research right here on For Science Salah Lotfy channel. Welcome to For Science Salah Lotfy channel, where I celebrate scientists making real impact through their research. Today, I'm proud to introduce a rising voice in environmental engineering, Dr. Mohamed Gaballah, a passionate researcher dedicated to solving global water challenges. Dr. Gaballah is currently a postdoctoral researcher and fixed-term teaching instructor at the School of Engineering and Technology, Central Michigan University, in the United States. His academic journey began in Egypt, where he earned his bachelor's degree in agricultural and biosystems engineering from Alexandria University in 2011. He completed his M.C. in 2016, and later received his PhD in engineering from China Agricultural University in 2023. During his PhD, Dr. Gaballah focused on a critical issue, the detection and removal of veterinary antibiotics from wastewater, and how this process affects bioenergy production. His research bridges environmental safety and sustainable energy. Today, at Central Michigan University, Dr. Gaballah specializes in the use of constructed wetlands for treating contaminated water, tracking the movement and impact of antibiotics in ecosystems, and investigating the rising threat of microplastics in aquatic environments. His work combines laboratory experiments, field-scale systems, and data modeling, aiming to develop sustainable, science-driven solutions to improve water quality and protect our environment. But his commitment to environmental sustainability started long before his academic career. Back in Egypt, Dr. Gaballah contributed to consulting projects in water management, pollutant removal, and renewable energy. He even worked on biogas production from agricultural waste. Today, he brings this experience into the classroom and the lab, educating the next generation and driving research that can serve both local communities and global ecosystems. Dr. Mohamed Gaballah is a great example of scientific talent crossing borders, connecting Egypt, China, and the United States in one mission: cleaner water, cleaner energy, and a more sustainable world. This is For Science Salah Lotfy channel. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more stories of science in action. Welcome to For Science Salah Lotfy channel, where I highlight the researchers shaping our planet's future through science. In this episode, I'm introducing a dedicated scholar working at the intersection of technology, water systems, and sustainability, Assistant Professor Dr. Roderick Lammers. Dr. Lammers began his academic journey at Purdue University, where he earned his bachelor's degrees. He then moved on to Colorado State University, where he completed both his master's and PhD degrees. His graduate work focused on a major environmental challenge, modeling the water quality impacts of stream channel erosion. After earning his degrees, Dr. Lammers gained further research experience as a postdoctoral associate and research scientist at the University of Georgia. In 2021, he joined the School of Engineering and Technology at Central Michigan University as an assistant professor, bringing with him a strong foundation in environmental engineering and computational modeling. Dr. Lammers' research centers on using computer-based modeling tools to better understand and solve complex water resource challenges. His work plays a key role in designing smart, data-driven solutions to protect and manage our most precious resource, water. His main areas of research include urban stormwater systems, how we manage runoff in cities, stream channel restoration, rebuilding damaged rivers and streams, and flood management, predicting and reducing flood risks in changing environments. In addition to his academic roles, Dr. Lammers has also worked as an engineering consultant, applying his expertise to environmental remediation and water infrastructure management. Whether it's modeling erosion in streams or optimizing urban drainage systems, Dr. Lammers combines technical precision with environmental insight to address the real-world water problems we face today. I celebrate Dr. Roderick Lammers not only for his academic contributions, but also for his hands-on impact, building bridges between scientific research and practical solutions. You're watching for Science Salah Lotfy channel, bringing global research to your screen. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories of science in action. Fresh water, the lifeblood of our planet, is under threat. Across continents, agriculture's reliance on fertilizers like nitrogen and phosphorus is fueling a crisis. Rain washes these nutrients from fields into rivers and lakes, triggering a process called eutrophication. Algal blooms explode, blocking sunlight and depleting oxygen, creating dead zones where aquatic life cannot survive. This devastation stretches from farmlands to oceans, impacting biodiversity and human communities alike. The water we depend on for drinking and recreation is at risk. The challenge? How do we feed the world without poisoning our water? The answer may lie in harnessing the quiet power of one of nature's most remarkable ecosystems. Nature's wetlands are the planet's kidneys, filtering and purifying water for millennia. Inspired by this, scientists have created constructed wetlands, engineered systems that mimic nature's filtration. Water flows through beds of soil and aquatic plants where roots and microbes break down pollutants. These systems are low-cost, energy-efficient, and boost local biodiversity. Constructed wetlands offer a hopeful, nature-based alternative to conventional water treatment. They show the power of ecological engineering, solving human problems by working with nature. It's a shift from fighting nature to partnering with it for cleaner water. Making constructed wetlands effective requires scientific precision. Dr. Mohamed Gaballah and Dr. Roderick Lammers at Central Michigan University set out to discover what makes these systems work best. Their global meta-analysis, published in the Journal of Water Process Engineering, pooled data from hundreds of wetlands worldwide. By analyzing diverse projects, they identified universal patterns in nutrient removal. Their research focused on key design factors and environmental factors that drive wetland performance. This large-scale approach moves beyond local quirks to reveal principles that work almost anywhere. The goal: a predictive model to help design wetlands that maximize water purification. Their findings offer a blueprint for building more effective, resilient wetlands. The study revealed a clear hierarchy of what matters most. Wetlands remove more nutrients when incoming water is heavily polluted. They work hardest when needed most. Size and water depth are crucial. Larger, shallower wetlands give plants and microbes more time and space to clean water. Climate and system age matter too. Warmer, mature wetlands perform better. Plant diversity boosts resilience and nutrient removal. These insights give engineers and planners practical tools to design smarter, more effective wetlands. With the right approach, constructed wetlands can be tailored to any environment or pollution challenge. Science is turning wetland construction from art into precision engineering for cleaner water. Dr. Gaballah and Dr. Lammers' research is a beacon of hope. Their findings empower farmers, planners, and communities to use nature-based solutions for cleaner water and healthier ecosystems. Constructed wetlands offer a cost-effective, sustainable way to protect water while supporting agriculture. This work proves that partnering with nature can solve even our toughest environmental challenges. The quiet work of plants and microbes is a powerful symbol of resilience and renewal. With continued research and innovation, we can build a future where people and nature thrive together. The path to a cleaner, more sustainable world is clear, if we choose to follow it. Hello, science fans! Today let's talk about something that affects every single one of us: water. Clean water is essential for life, but there's a growing problem we can't always see: nutrient pollution. This happens when too much nitrogen and phosphorus enter our waterways, often from fertilizers used in modern agriculture. Not all fertilizer is absorbed by crops. Rain washes the excess into streams and rivers as runoff. This nutrient-rich runoff triggers algal blooms which look like thick, green scum on the water's surface. These blooms block sunlight, kill underwater plants, and when the algae die, bacteria decompose them, using up oxygen and creating dead zones where aquatic life can't survive. This is a national issue, damaging ecosystems from the Great Lakes to the Gulf of Mexico. The Gulf's dead zone, fueled by farm runoff, is one of the world's largest and threatens coastal economies. Clearly, we need to stop these nutrients before they cause so much harm. The solution must be effective, affordable, and work with nature. So, how do we tackle this invisible threat? We need to intercept pollution at its source, before it reaches our rivers and oceans. That's where innovative nature-based solutions come in. Let's explore one of the most promising constructed wetlands. What if the answer to water pollution has been here all along? Wetlands, nature's kidneys, are incredible at filtering pollutants and cleaning water. They soak up runoff, slow it down, and provide homes for countless species. Sadly, we've lost many natural wetlands to development, but we can build new ones, constructed wetlands designed to mimic nature's water cleaning power. These engineered systems treat polluted water like farm runoff before it reaches rivers and lakes. Water flows slowly through shallow basins filled with soil and water-loving plants, maximizing pollutant removal. Unlike concrete treatment plants, constructed wetlands use natural processes, making them greener and more cost-effective. They can be built right at the edge of farm fields, intercepting pollution at its source. Plus, they create beautiful green spaces and new wildlife habitats. Cleaner water, less pollution, and more nature-constructed wetlands are a win for everyone. But how do they actually work? Let's dive into the science behind constructed wetlands. First, as polluted water enters, it slows down, allowing sediments and phosphorus to settle out. The wetland's soil, or substrate, chemically binds phosphorus, locking it away. Plants like cattails and reeds absorb nitrogen and phosphorus, using them to grow. Their roots create oxygen-rich zones, supporting helpful microbes. These microbes perform denitrification, converting harmful nitrate into harmless nitrogen gas that escapes into the air. It's a combination of settling, chemical trapping, plant uptake, and microbial transformation. This living machine works around the clock, powered by sunlight and biology. It's a beautiful, complex dance of nature, turning pollution into clean water. That's why constructed wetlands are such effective, elegant solutions. But how do we know which designs work best? Scientists set out to find the answer. Here's how they did it. Scientists wanted to know what makes one constructed wetland better than another. They studied dozens of wetlands across the U.S. from Florida to Minnesota to find patterns that hold true everywhere. The goal: identify the key factors that determine how efficiently a wetland removes nitrogen and phosphorus. Researchers collected massive amounts of data, measuring pollution levels, wetland size, plant types, and more. They compared water quality at the inflow and outflow to see how much pollution was removed. By repeating this across many sites, they could connect the dots and find what really matters. This large-scale synthesis study brings together data from many places to reveal general principles. The results help us move from "we think this works" to "we know how this works" and how to make it better. So, what did they measure? To unlock the secrets of wetland performance, scientists collected key clues from each site. They measured nitrogen and phosphorus in water entering and leaving the wetland to calculate removal efficiency. Flow rate was tracked to understand how much pollution the wetland handled. Physical design was documented: surface area, shape, depth, and hydraulic residence time. The longer water stays, the better the cleaning. They analyzed the surrounding land, cropland, forest, or urban area, to see what kind of pollution was arriving. Plant types were recorded, since different vegetation supports different cleaning processes. Climate data, temperature and rainfall, was gathered, since these affect plant and microbe activity. All this information created a rich data set for analysis. With these clues, scientists could finally start to see what makes a wetland truly effective. But how did they analyze such a complex web of data? To make sense of all this data, scientists used both classic statistics and machine learning. Traditional statistics test specific questions, like, do bigger wetlands remove more nitrogen? But wetlands are complex, with many factors interacting at once. Machine learning, like random forest models, can find hidden patterns and rank which factors matter most. These models build hundreds of decision trees, averaging their results for accurate predictions. The real power: they reveal which control knobs have the biggest impact on wetland performance. By combining both approaches, researchers confirmed known principles and discovered new insights. So, what did they find? The biggest factor for both nitrogen and phosphorus removal? The concentration of pollutants entering the wetland. Wetlands receiving higher concentrations removed a higher percentage, up to a point. But if the total load is too massive, even the best wetland can be overwhelmed. The next key factor: hydraulic loading rate. Wetlands work best when water moves slowly, giving natural processes time to clean it. For nitrogen, wetland size was also important. Bigger is often better. For phosphorus, soil type and wetland age mattered, since soils can become saturated over time. Surprisingly, plant type was less critical than expected. Overall design and operating conditions were more important. These findings give engineers a clear blueprint, focus on inflow concentration, water residence time, and size for the best results. But there's no one-size-fits-all solution. Local context is everything. What works in Louisiana may not work in Iowa. Climate, pollution type, and local soils all influence wetland performance. Machine learning showed temperature is especially important for nitrogen removal, since cold slows down microbes. In colder states, larger wetlands may be needed to achieve the same results as smaller ones in warmer areas. This research empowers communities to tailor wetland designs to their unique conditions. Instead of a generic blueprint, we now have science-based guidance for local success. By customizing wetlands, we can save money, improve water quality, and build a cleaner future. That's the power of local, science-driven solutions. So, what does this mean for the future? We have a powerful nature-based tool for cleaner water, constructed wetlands. They're not a magic bullet, but they're a vital part of the solution. This research is a call to action for farmers, communities, and policymakers to invest in green infrastructure. Every constructed wetland is a victory for our rivers and lakes, a testament to learning from nature. By applying these findings, we can make every dollar go further and create habitats that benefit people and wildlife. Next time you see a marshy area, see a living water treatment plant, a guardian of our waterways. By harnessing the power of constructed wetlands, we move closer to a future where everyone has access to clean water. That's a future worth working for. Thank you for considering the evidence. Let's build a cleaner water world together.
Across modern farmlands, a hidden crisis unfolds. Nutrient runoff from fertilizers pollutes our waterways, fueling algal blooms and dead zones. Yet, nature provides a solution. Wetlands which act as living filters. This script explores how constructed wetlands purify agricultural wastewater, focusing on their efficiency in removing nitrogen and phosphorus. We'll uncover the science behind these systems, how plants, microbes, and soils work together to cleanse water. Our analysis draws on U.S. research, revealing the mechanisms that transform polluted runoff into cleaner water. We'll examine the specific ways wetlands tackle nitrogen and phosphorus, using hard data from field studies. The goal bridge scientific discovery with practical application, offering a guide for designing and managing effective wetlands. This knowledge empowers farmers, policymakers, and conservationists to protect water resources and support sustainable agriculture. By working with nature, we can restore the health of our waterways. Nitrogen from fertilizers often enters waterways as nitrate, but constructed wetlands harness microbes to remove it. The key process is denitrification. Bacteria in oxygen-poor zones convert nitrate into harmless nitrogen gas, releasing it to the atmosphere. For this to work, wetlands need anoxic zones and a steady supply of carbon, provided by decaying plant matter. Studies in the Midwest show well-designed wetlands can remove 50–90% of nitrogen from tile drainage. Retention time is crucial. Longer water contact means more nitrogen removed. For example, increasing retention from 2 to 7 days nearly doubles efficiency. Wetlands must also support both nitrification in oxygen-rich zones and denitrification in anoxic zones, requiring a mosaic of habitats. Water flow, temperature, and wetland age all influence performance. Careful design ensures water passes through both aerobic and anaerobic areas, completing the nitrogen removal cycle. The result, a natural, reliable system for reducing agricultural nitrogen pollution. Unlike nitrogen, phosphorus can't be released as a gas. Wetlands must trap it in soils and plants. Phosphorus removal relies on soil adsorption, binding to minerals like iron, aluminum, and calcium, and plant uptake. The choice of substrate is critical. Soils rich in clay or amended with minerals act as phosphorus magnets. Plants absorb phosphorus as they grow, especially during peak seasons, and diverse plant communities ensure year-round removal. As plants die, they build up organic matter, creating new soil layers that bury phosphorus long-term. Research in California shows wetlands with high biomass and soil accretion can sustain phosphorus removal for decades. However, soil binding sites eventually saturate, so wetland design must account for long-term capacity. Some systems use special phosphorus-absorbing materials to extend effectiveness. Periodic harvesting of plants can also remove stored phosphorus, though it's labor-intensive. Ultimately, the interplay of soil chemistry and plant diversity is key to lasting phosphorus control. Smart design ensures wetlands remain effective nutrient sinks over time. Wetland performance depends on several interacting factors, with hydraulic retention time being paramount. Longer retention allows more complete nitrogen and phosphorus removal. EPA reviews show wetlands with 5-7-day retention outperform those with shorter times, boosting nitrogen removal by up to 40%. Water depth matters too. Shallow zones promote plant growth and nitrification, while deeper areas foster denitrification. A mix of depths creates optimal conditions for both processes. Diverse vegetation supplies carbon for microbes and absorbs nutrients, while soil composition, especially high in clay, iron, or aluminum, enhances phosphorus capture. Innovative substrates like slag or fly ash can further improve performance. Temperature and nutrient loading rates also affect efficiency, with colder weather slowing microbial activity. Wetlands must be sized to match expected nutrient loads for sustained results. The right combination of design and management ensures reliable nutrient removal. U.S. research points to clear principles for optimizing constructed wetlands. For nitrogen removal, ensure at least 5 days of retention, a large surface area, and varied water depths to support both nitrification and denitrification. Plant a diverse mix of emergent and submerged species to fuel microbial processes. Water should flow gently across the wetland, maximizing contact with plants and sediments. For phosphorus, substrate selection is critical. Use soils or media rich in clay, iron, or aluminum, or add specialized amendments. Encourage plant uptake and long-term burial through productive, diverse vegetation. As plants decompose, they help build new soil layers, locking away phosphorus. Designed for decades, not just years, to ensure wetlands remain effective nutrient sinks. Thoughtful engineering creates self-sustaining systems that protect water quality far into the future. U.S. constructed wetlands perform on par with global counterparts, with nitrogen removal rates of 40-80% and phosphorus removal of 30-70%. The science is universal, but climate and agricultural practices shape design. Europe's cold climate innovations, like vertical flow wetlands, offer lessons for northern U.S. states. Australia and New Zealand focus on water recycling and salinity, relevant for America's arid regions. The U.S. leads in treating non-point source pollution from vast agricultural areas, especially tile drainage. This large-scale experience provides valuable insights for other nations. International knowledge exchange helps all countries build more resilient, multifunctional wetlands. U.S. research sets a benchmark for global efforts to manage agricultural water pollution. The American Midwest showcases the power of constructed wetlands. In Iowa, the Hawkeye-Newbo wetland treats runoff from 3,000 acres, removing over 50% of incoming nitrate and protecting downstream waters. Programs like CREP incentivize farmers to convert flood-prone land into wetlands, with dozens of sites in Illinois and Iowa reducing nitrate by 40-60%. These wetlands follow science-based design-proper area-to-watershed ratios and varied water depths for complete nitrogen removal. In Florida, massive stormwater treatment areas target phosphorus, with facilities like Stay One West achieving over 75% removal. These projects prove wetlands can be scaled to regional challenges. By dedicating just 1-2% of farmland to wetlands, we see outsized water quality benefits. These case studies offer practical models for other regions. Constructed wetlands are a proven, reliable tool for farmers and watershed managers. Investing in green infrastructure yields lasting returns for water and communities. Wetland technology is evolving, aiming for greater efficiency and broader benefits. Hybrid systems use reactive media, like wood chips or steel slag, to boost nutrient removal and extend wetland lifespan. Research is exploring plant species that are nutrient hyperaccumulators or especially resilient, creating designer ecosystems for targeted treatment. Wetlands can also provide habitat, support pollinators, and sequester carbon, expanding their value. Policy is key. Incentives and water quality trading markets could accelerate adoption, making wetlands profitable for landowners. Consistent, science-based regulations will drive demand for these solutions. New monitoring tools, sensors, drones, genetic analysis, enable real-time management and optimization. Continuous data unlocks new efficiencies, ensuring wetlands perform at their best. The future lies in integrating technology, policy, and ecology for maximum impact. Constructed wetlands are more than scenic ponds. They're living machines for water purification. U.S. research proves their power to remove nitrogen and phosphorus when designed with the right retention time, depth, soils, and plant diversity. These principles translate into practical checklists for engineers and farmers, turning wetland construction into a science. Integrating wetlands into agriculture protects rivers, lakes, and coasts from nutrient pollution. This isn't just environmentalism. It's about securing clean water for communities, economies, and future generations. Wetlands represent a partnership between human ingenuity and natural processes. As environmental challenges mount, resilient, sustainable solutions like wetlands are essential. They're an investment in natural capital and a key to thriving farms and healthy waters. The evidence is clear. It's time to expand the role of wetlands in healing our planet's water. By embracing these ecosystems, we build a future where agriculture and nature flourish together.
Wetlands, marshes, swamps, and bogs are nature's water purifiers, quietly filtering our planet's water. They trap sediments, break down pollutants, and absorb excess nutrients from agricultural runoff, protecting rivers and lakes. As water enters a wetland, heavy particles settle, and microorganisms in the sediment transform harmful chemicals. Wetland plants anchor soil, provide surfaces for microbes, and absorb nutrients, removing them from the ecosystem. This process is especially effective at tackling nitrogen and phosphorus, the main pollutants from fertilizers. By intercepting runoff, wetlands prevent algal blooms and dead zones in aquatic environments. Inspired by these natural systems, scientists now build constructed wetlands to treat wastewater and runoff, mimicking nature's design. Understanding and replicating these processes offers a blueprint for cleaner water worldwide. Recent research shows constructed wetlands can significantly reduce nitrogen and phosphorus from farm runoff. Nitrogen is removed mainly through denitrification, where bacteria convert nitrate into harmless nitrogen gas. The longer water stays in the wetland, the more nitrogen is removed. Phosphorus is captured by binding to soil particles and absorption by plants. Soil type and plant density are crucial for phosphorus retention. However, wetlands have limits. Excessive nutrient loads can overwhelm them. Managing what enters the wetland is as important as its design. Buffer strips of vegetation along fields help reduce nutrient runoff before it reaches the wetland. Responsible farming and smart wetland design work together for sustainable water purification. The effectiveness of a constructed wetland depends on its size, depth, and surrounding landscape. A larger wetland relative to its watershed allows more time for purification. Shallow zones support plant growth and nutrient absorption, while deeper areas help settle particles. A vegetated buffer around the wetland filters runoff before it enters, reducing the burden on the system. Integrating wetlands into the landscape, not isolating them, maximizes their benefits. Hydraulic residence time, the time water spends in the wetland, is key. Longer is better for nutrient removal. Designing meandering flow paths, rather than straight channels, increases residence time and efficiency. These strategies ensure wetlands function as powerful, resilient water purifiers. With research in hand, we can design better wetlands for water purification. Ensure the wetland surface area is at least 1–2% of its drainage area for effective treatment. Create varied depths and internal structures, shallow vegetated zones and deeper pools, to boost purification and wildlife habitat. Add a sediment forebay at the entrance to capture coarse sediment and protect the main wetland. Regularly maintain the forebay to extend the wetland's lifespan and efficiency. Control inflow to prevent overwhelming the system. Wetlands are dynamic living systems, nature-based solutions that restore water health. By applying these principles, we secure cleaner water for future generations. As we reach the end of today's episode, Professor Dr. Salah Lotfy, professor at the Egyptian Atomic Energy Authority, would like to extend his deepest thanks and appreciation to the two distinguished researchers behind this outstanding scientific contribution. Our sincere gratitude goes to Dr. Mohamed Gaballah, an Egyptian postdoctoral researcher at the School of Engineering and Technology, Central Michigan University, USA, and affiliated with the National Institute of Oceanography and Fisheries in Cairo, Egypt. And to Assistant Professor Dr. Roderick Lammers from the School of Engineering and Technology and the Institute for Great Lakes Research, Central Michigan University, USA. Their collaborative effort has resulted in a remarkable research paper titled, "Assessing the Factors Influencing Constructed Wetland Performance for Mitigating Agricultural Nutrient Runoff in the U.S." This article was published in the Journal of Water Process Engineering, Volume 71, 2025, as part of the special issue Advances in Constructed Wetlands. Their work contributes significantly to the global scientific community in the fields of water treatment, wetland engineering, and sustainable environmental management. We now invite you, our valued viewers, to share your thoughts and feedback about this research in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for the latest in global scientific discoveries right here, and only here, on For Science Salah Lotfy channel. Your engagement fuels our mission to bring science closer to the world. Thank you for watching.